Instagram. How's it going, Instagram? Got LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter. Gonna do Facebook right now. Thank God it's Monday. As always, put in your questions and let me know how we can help each other. So, questions, comments, concerns. Use the camera. Of course, use the camera. What else am I going to use? Facebook is the strangest platform to go live. Here we go. We're going to go live on Facebook. So, guys, what do you think? What are you doing right now? Where are you at? Hey, Christine, how's it going? Clubhouse is very active. We actually have a writer. Shout out to Eileen Schneider. Schneider, the writer. And she's going to be going in depth, writing an in depth piece, like really in depth on Clubhouse and just how valuable of a tool it has become. Not how valuable it will be, how valuable of a tool it has already become for clinical researchers that are doing B2B. What does B2B mean? It means business to business. Hey, coach, how's it going? LinkedIn user, anonymous. Don't be anonymous. Throw those hearts on the screen. Go crazy with the hearts. Go crazy with the likes. You guys on Facebook, do whatever it is you do. And put questions in there. Put questions if you're watching right now on Facebook. Put questions if you're watching on Twitter. Put questions on YouTube and LinkedIn and Instagram. Always, always, always coming strong. Happy Monday. I said I would go live every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, even when it's late, like right now. I've still got to go walk my dog, Sonic. I've had a busy day uploading tons of content. You guys can see. Facebook, can you see? Uploading tons of content. And interviewed one of my PIs today, actually. Our newest PI. Drop in the gems. That's right. You know, I just had a phone call with somebody who works for pharma. And it's amazing what these big pharma, don't understand. Okay? It's shocking to me. I'm not going to get into details, but put your questions in there. If you're from a site, if you're from a CRO, if you're from a sponsor, if you're from a vendor, if you are from none of these, but want to be in one, let me know. Put it in the comments. Which one are you from? Go Niners. Go Niners. Thank you. Not our year, but hey, you know what? Ride or die with the Niners. Kyle Juszczyk is my dude. This is actually it's on the back, number 44, best fullback in the league, hands down. And fullbacks don't even really exist anymore, so it's always good to have a unique position player. You have a problem understanding the protocol? Put it out there, without putting details. We don't want to know details. I don't want to learn a new protocol right now. I have enough work to do, but what do you have a problem understanding? Specifically what? If it's a detail related to a protocol, the best person to ask would be the sponsor or the CRO or whomever you have access to. I would go directly to the medical director if you can, or at least your lead CRA. Put those hearts on Instagram and put your questions on Instagram. What do you guys think? Was everyone on Clubhouse with Elon Musk last night? It was hard to get on. You had to get into a room. It was like a derivative. You had to get into a room of another room where you can hear the stream. A LinkedIn user says, I've worked at Site and Big Pharma. Yeah, big ups, Those guys, those two, if you can combine those two, okay, the knowledge you get from a site, which, believe it or not, like, it's the most practical. Those who are closest to the patient are more of generalists, like I always said. The closer you are to the patient action, the better. Amy's asking, does being a medical assistant for 10 years count as experience? Worked in internal medicine, pediatrics, OBGYN, and maternal fetal medicine. Yeah, it does. It does. So absolutely, it does. Okay. Does being a medical assistant for 10 years count? Yes, it does. Now, it counts as clinical experience. It does not count as research experience. But if you can combine all those years of clinical experience with even a month internship or a month anything, okay, you can immediately get hired as a study coordinator. You bring immediate value. Just the fact that you're a medical assistant, I'm assuming you can draw blood, but I met someone who is a medical assistant that does not know how to draw blood, and that's my niece. And I was shocked because I'm gonna hire her for our new site, hopefully, and she doesn't know how to draw blood. I asked her, well, what kind of medical assistant doesn't know how to draw blood? That's a first for me, but apparently it's possible. But being able to draw blood is very valuable for sites, especially the smaller the site. The smaller the site, the more generalist they need. Okay. Facebook. I don't know if anyone's commenting, but let me know. Put the comments. Comment now. Anyone else? Oh, and what's cool is I can do this. Here we go. Check this out. Does pharmacy tech experience count? Does undergrad lab work in biology count? Yes, everything counts. Everything counts. LinkedIn user says, I'm a nurse practitioner, which really helps. Absolutely does help a lot. You could be a sub-I. You could be a NP. Obviously, you can be the nurse, like the study nurse. It depends what kind of site. Always depends. Remember, sites range from small mom and pops to large academic medical centers with multiple locations within a community or across the country. It all depends. J. Rose says, does pharmacy tech experience count? Does undergrad lab work in biology count? All of it counts. All of it. You count. Okay? What you've done with your career so far and education matters. It's unique to you. You bring your unique experiences to the labor force, to the labor market, and combined with how you mix it with clinical research is going to determine your outcome. And here's what determines your outcome more than anything else. Right here, guys, mindset, okay? There is no finish line, like David Goggins says. Sikel says, thanks. No problem. Keep the questions coming. Please give us some insights on clinical project management challenges. My only experience with clinical project management challenges is from the site level. So at the site, whenever I'm a site owner, whenever there's a problem, specifically with payments, I call the project manager. Project managers, from what I've learned, okay, they get called by everybody, all stakeholders, whenever there's a problem, whenever there's a fire to put out. Hats off to project managers. I don't know how you guys do it. You guys need to get paid more. I could never be a project manager. I just don't know how you guys do it. But everything is a challenge with the project manager. Instagram, thank you for the hearts. Keep them going. Put the questions in there. I will read Instagram questions. Like Instagram, you guys, near and dear to my heart. And when I get TikTok, the ability to go live on TikTok, by the way, follow me on TikTok, Dan Sfera. I got my second person in my life that messaged me on TikTok and said, I discovered you through TikTok. Thank you so much for doing TikToks. I need to be doing more TikToks. In about an hour when I go on the treadmill, I'll be doing another TikTok or two. Could you explain in detail the pathway of clinical data? Like, how does the patient data travel from the patient itself to do the statistics, doing the analysis? So, okay, between the patient data existing and getting to statistical analysis, so towards the end of the study or maybe a database lock, this is where all the clinical research operations comes in. Okay, you get the coordinator, who needs to collect that data, upload that data. Laura Lamas, long time. That's a long time follower right there. Laura Lamas from Miami. I think still in Miami, not sure. Long time follower. How's it going? Put some hearts on that Instagram. Okay, so from the patient existing the data to the database lock or the final analysis, it's what this book is about, the comprehensive guide to clinical research that I wrote. All of that, everything here, this is not a big book, but everything here is Miami in the house. You guys, Miami is gonna become like the next major city. It's already been a major city, but after this pandemic, with all the people moving there, it's gonna become really important. I think it's like gonna be the new LA, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for you guys, unfortunately for people like me who are in California. So in between the patient having the data and the data analysis at the end of the study is coordinator collecting the data, putting it into the EDC, PI making sure the patient is safe throughout the course of the study, making sure there's no AEs, SAEs, if there are, how to go about, if there, what do you do with the CONMEDs, CRA overlooking all this stuff, did you forget, did you follow the protocol, did you do this, did you do that, all that stuff, we need to keep those hearts going, guys. It's not enough. It's not enough on a late on a Monday night. We need more hearts. So did you do this? Did you do that? Let me write my reports. The CRA does all that. So all that is to look at the data, the integrity, the quality of the data, the completeness, the accuracy, Alcoa-C. Okay. Then you have the database locks. I just did a video today. GoPro. I just did a video today on database locks as well. That's a quick, like 1 minute video, maybe a minute 20 seconds. Okay, all these long videos. We had to do some short videos too. So database locks, interim data analysis. This is where queries have to be closed out. Everything needs to be resolved. Now it's locked. Okay, so now that data can be analyzed by biostats and by the data management team. Now you can move on to the rest of the study, the new data that's going to be collected. So good question. Hi Dan, I worked as a volunteer for 6 months in 2017, which was unpaid. I had a great experience working, but how do I proceed forward? So the problem is that, okay, I mean, that's good, but that was 2017. People are going to say, just like Janet Jackson says, okay, what have you done for me lately? It's 2017, it's 2021. So it's great, okay, but you got to get current. You got to get more relevant experience on your resume. Try to showcase that in a way that you don't want to lie, but I wouldn't put unpaid internship. Uh, Janet Jackson, shout out Janet Jackson. You don't want to put unpaid internship on your CV. Like if it comes up in the interview, you're gonna tell them the truth, but you'd put what you actually did. Okay, you could put intern on there as well, but I wouldn't focus. I would take the focus away from the shortcomings. It's a little bit of a shortcoming, and focus the emphasis instead on what you've done. But again, 2017 to 2021, you need a little bit more relevant, more recent and relevant. But it's a good start. It's a good start. LinkedIn user. Who are you, LinkedIn user? There's several LinkedIn users. When I lived in San Francisco, I had to earn a license for phlebotomy. Yeah, yeah. Now, in research is interesting because you don't necessarily need a license to do blood draw. You just need to be under again, every state's different, every city's different. You need to be under the supervision of a PI, but it doesn't hurt to have that license too. Hi Dan, I am an international medical graduate and will have an interview for research assistant position in Cancer Institute tomorrow. I saw your email today. I don't know if I replied. I'm sorry if I didn't. Just been so busy. I should Cancer Institute tomorrow. What questions should I ask them at the end of the interview? Research assist. I would ask them like the specifics of their study. It would probably impress them if you asked them like inclusion exclusion criteria, as well as inclusion exclusion criteria, as well as like the indication if they don't bring it up during the actual interview. I'm sure the indications will come up, but some IE criteria, maybe ask them, hey, from the studies that I'm going to be working on, what has been the most challenging aspects of the study? And then, from a recruitment perspective, from a just running the study perspective, is the protocol challenging? Those kind of things I would ask, because number one, it would demonstrate that you have a proficiency, a working knowledge. It would demonstrate you have interest. And most people don't ask those kind of questions because most people, for those entry level positions, don't even understand like that there are challenges in clinical research. Inclusion, exclusion, i.e. criteria. You want to really impress them? Talk to them in acronyms. What's the most challenging part of the i.e. criteria for this study? They're going to say, wow, this person knows research. Who talks like this? Only people that know talk in acronyms. I've always wondered if that's why the real reason for research having so many acronyms is it's like a secret code. Like, we got to keep everyone else out who doesn't know any better, and we're just gonna like speak our own language, like Tower of Babel. Okay, keep those hearts coming. What barriers have they had in the past with recruitment? There you go. That's another good one. Laura Lamas, straight from Miami, Florida, with the heat, pun intended, with the Miami Heat. In other states, you can be taught on the job. I taught many RAs how to perform blood draws. Hey, LinkedIn user, if you're in California, message me because I actually have some questions for you in regards to that. Yeah, what's the best entry-level position in clinical research for recent bio grads? Clinical research assistant, one step underneath a clinical research coordinator. If you have promise, potential, smarts, confidence, ability to learn, ability to multitask, ability to work well with others, a go-getter attitude, you're going to get hired as a research assistant, and within 3 to 6 months, excuse me, 3 to 6 months, keep those hearts coming, Instagram, let's go. Within 3 to 6 months, you will be a clinical research coordinator. Once you are a clinical research coordinator, there is no stopping you, okay? Especially if you have a bachelor's degree or better. I mean, I hear CRA calling your name. I hear project manager calling your name. If you listen carefully, like really closely, you can hear site owner calling your name. That's not for everyone though. All right, but you got to figure out once you're at the site level, again, those who are closest. Carlos, if you're watching, this is our next quote. Write it down, okay? I forget the quote now. When you are closest to the patient, no, that's not the quote. Now I forgot the quote. I lost the quote. Something about being a generalist and being closer to the patient. The closer you are to the patient, the better off your career will be, the more of a generalist you will be. We need to make that sound better for a quote. It's not Instagram worthy yet. Okay, that one's like a draft folder in your email, in like your spam email worthy. That's not a Instagram worthy. Site owner, yes, I see that in your future, for you especially. Right, I do see this. We actually talked about this. This is Patreon. Me and the Patreon community, we're tight. Okay. When you were a CRA, so am a CRA. Excuse me. But I'm kidding. I'm a site owner too. Let's put this question up there. When you were a CRA working for a CRO, how many emails did you get each day? So my situation's unique. Okay, I'm a contract CRA. I work for like a specialty CRO. They have remote site monitors that do most of the work. I work really hard on one day, and that's when I do a monitoring visit. And then I literally do nothing other than answer occasional email. So I'm not a good example, but I've talked to many, and it depends, okay? Like during a database lock, you're going to be bombarded with emails from the sponsor side if you're a CRA, and you're going to be sending out emails to your sites, and hopefully you're receiving responses from your sites. Usually what's going to happen is sites don't respond. Yeah, Lara Lamas, that's funny. Heart that up, guys. I see site ownership, Christine, in your future. So I'm not a good barometer for this. Now, presently get tons of emails. I wish I can show you my screen. My inbox shows 66,223 emails, mostly because I don't know how to delete them. I refuse to delete emails. So I have 66,223 emails on this inbox, and I have 211,949 on this other one. So I'm sorry I missed your email, but we're gonna just keep them coming. Dan at theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Let's go. If you guys put more questions down there. Naomi, how's it going? Denise, fired up. That's right. That's right. Guys, on Instagram, you got to put the hearts on there. Okay, researchers don't delete emails. Exactly. If anyone has a good hack for how you can delete emails but still keep messages archived, let me know, because I have no solution like other than just keeping them there and paying Gmail, continuing to pay Gmail to give me more gigabytes. And I'm only 39, guys, so I'm gonna have like 30 more years of emails at least of my working life. Jeff Stone, thank you. Spitting the fire, the hot flame. How effective are radio announcements for patient recruitment? Um, they're effective. It depends on the demographic. Okay, I think they could be very effective depending on what you can negotiate for the budget. Okay, I think TV, daytime television, and radio, there's a reason why you still see clinical research ads on daytime TV and you still hear it on terrestrial radio. I haven't listened to terrestrial radio in years. Um, it's been challenging to find a patient. Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico in the house. You guys are getting a lot of influx of new people, new residents moving in. I know somebody from Orange County, entrepreneur who moved to Puerto Rico because he's fed up with California. And so Puerto Rico is a lot like Miami in that sense. Like they're getting an influx, major influx. Texas, Florida, Puerto Rico, Arizona. Those places are getting tons of people moving in. Um, yeah, keep those hearts coming, guys. Go, 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 go. Enthusiasm and curiosity go a long way. I agree. Anonymous LinkedIn user. How do you get to be anonymous like this? I don't understand. Jeff Stone, spitting fire, big guy. Love the shows. Thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate it, man. Who's everyone got in the Super Bowl? I guess we can ask Friday, but just let's do it early. Super Bowl picks. Who you guys got? Put it in the comments. Everybody's a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan now, and a Kansas City Chiefs. I can't stand the Chiefs because of last year. Okay. Luis. Hey Dan, I'm a biologist experienced in basic research, and I have been working for Icon CRO as SMA. What's SMA? Assistant? But what's the SNM? Do you think there is a way or role to link basic and clinical research, or what would you do if you were searching for it? Not sure I understand, Luis. Maybe try to ask it in a different way. They have a premium LinkedIn and can stay anonymous. Well, I have a premium LinkedIn, but I don't understand how you can stay anonymous. I guess people have their own reasons. Oh, here's a third person. This is gonna keep me doing these TikToks. Look at it on the screen, guys. For those of you on LinkedIn, just keep hearting it up. I'll read to you. Jay Rose, I found you through TikTok. I never thought about going into clinical research until I found your videos. Look at that, guys. TikTok, the power of TikTok. Now, let me tell you sites something. There is opportunity to get patients on TikTok too, especially on the younger demo. But I'm going to leave that for you guys to figure out because, patient recruitment is so tough. Laura Lamas likes the Chiefs. Who's on Clubhouse? Let me know in the comments. Are you on Clubhouse? We're doing 1,000-word or more article on Clubhouse for clinical research and why I think it's important. Data is huge. Data is like the future. This is the future of every industry. Research is no different. Thank you, Jeff Stone. LinkedIn user, EDC to QC to monitoring and then to data analyst. Man, I'm behind on these comments. Let's preclinical data on samples is huge. Interim analysis. Dr. Lovey Negrin. Great conversation today. Okay. Um, Christine says, yeah, Clubhouse. You guys love it. Denise. Christine says, need to work with IRB on social media advertising. Yep. Uh, Laura Lama says, no, I think we need to get invited. Anybody have an invite for Laura? Christine, you and Laura would actually get along really well. If you have any invites, I know you're always looking to give people invites. Hook her up. If not, Laura, DM me. I think I have like 4 invites now. Anyone who wants Clubhouse, you got to have an iPhone, but message me. I could send you an invite. Hiring tip: being teachable, compassionate, and compliant are the most important values from my management perspective. Some of the most experienced applicants don't know how to talk to another human. Exactly. Thank you so much for sharing this. I had a call earlier today with somebody. Communication was a challenge. Let me just put it that way. Communication is something that should not be taken for granted. Okay, let me say that again. Communication is important, and some people have no clue how to communicate properly. I don't know what it is. It's yeah. I don't know. I have a lot of questions sometimes. Uh, Ask about study endpoints. So that person who asked the question earlier about what you should ask at the end of your interview, ask about study endpoints, says LinkedIn user. Thank you so much for these sessions. Consider them training. Yeah, consider them training, QA. Ask whatever you want every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I don't know what time, because it's going to be different times every time. But every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, unless I'm doing something where I can't do this. But the norm will be that I will do this. You guys just got to keep throwing the hearts up there, throwing the likes on there. Got a question from Amy. What is Latinos in clinical research? Latinos in clinical research is a movement that we started. It was inspired by black women in clinical research. And I partner with Monica, who many of you know, Judy, and Ashley on reducing the disparities in research. From our end, when it comes to Hispanics and Latinos, but all ethnicities are welcome in Latinos in clinical research. We have people from all backgrounds and ethnicities. It's really a networking, it's a learning community and a networking community with topics loosely revolving around Latinos. We're going to have some initiatives where it's more directly aimed at Latinos, but again, everybody welcome. I myself am not Latino, okay, but I'm part of it. You know, I'm one of the co-founders. The other 3 are. And we plan on making that thing because it's important, okay? It's important. Latinos in Clinical Research is a Facebook page. I'm going to talk to the girls about creating a Facebook group because I think that's important. So currently it's a Facebook page. It's a website, latinosinclinicalresearch.com. It's a monthly Zoom meeting. And you gotta, to get the Zoom invite, you gotta subscribe, latinosinclinicalresearch.com. It's an Instagram, Latinos in Clinical Research. It's a YouTube channel. It's a podcast. And did I say LinkedIn? Yeah, I said LinkedIn. Yeah, Christine and Laura. Thank you, Christine. Hook up Laura with the Clubhouse invite, and then latinosinclinicalresearch.com. Check it out. I really think you guys will get benefit from it, regardless of your nationality or background. LinkedIn users laughing. And here we go. My name is Vanessa Marquez. I don't live in California. I worked at Gladstone Institute in San Francisco, and this was my first clinical research position. They would not hire unless one was licensed to do phlebotomy or an RN. Yeah, at those bigger institutions, they're a little more strict and things like that. What is the difference between a blinded and unblinded trial from a site perspective? So when you're blinded, I mean, most studies are double blind, meaning the patients don't know what they're receiving and neither does the site, anybody at the site. Now, sometimes at the site, so that's most studies. Most studies are blinded, double blind. That's the gold standard in clinical research. Some studies require one staff member, sometimes 2, like one and a backup, to be unblinded. They're usually the ones that are going to prepare. This is when it's impossible to mask the investigational product from the placebo. So in these cases, they have one person who's called unblinded, and all they're allowed to do in the entire study is the IP related stuff, the dispensing and the administration, or sometimes just the dispensing, and then they mask it somehow. Basically, most studies are double blind. Some require an unblinded staff, and that's what you mean by that. Last Latino and clinical research Zoom meeting was great. Received awesome. Thank you, Denise. Received awesome information for small business. Thank you so much. We're really bringing the heat now in February. We got Belkis, site owner from Miami, coming on for February. For March, we got Marjorie and Carla from Topaz Clinical, and we got tons of content for you guys. We just hired a full-time social media person for the Latinos in Clinical Research Instagram, the Facebook, the LinkedIn, and again, we have the YouTube channel, and we have the podcasts, and then we're gonna start a TikTok for that too. And if you want to be a part of the TikTok, okay, and submit content, I have a Dropbox that you can just upload your video clips, and we'll feature you on the Latinos in Clinical Research social medias. Another question. What are good... Hey, I like your logo, LuentrixGames. What are good questions to ask when going for clinical research coordinator interview? Well, you want to ask about the studies, okay? You want to ask like what kind of... You want to know beforehand what kind of studies they do, but then specifically you want to ask, specifics about studies. What's the inclusion exclusion criteria? What's the most challenging studies that you have? What are some ways I can help? Is it through recruitment? Is it through keeping the staff more organized, creating a workflow, creating a shared calendar? Sites have different issues. You want to find out what the issues are and how you can solve the problems, basically, bottom line. Do you save these IG live sessions? Yeah. Yeah, I do, unless my phone just dies. Sometimes they get lost. Isabel is really considered being a speaker. Oh, okay. Yeah, let me know. Let me know. LinkedIn user said I'm not trying to be anonymous. Well, look at your name. Can you see on the screen? This is what I see. Study management assistant. Is this for a site or a CRO? Study management assistant. What's the best way to carry out an SIV? Just carry it out. Just carry it out. Really, the most important thing at the SIV is the protocol training. Right? You got to get documentation that you trained the staff that was there. You got to get documentation that the staff that wasn't there is going to be trained. You got to do the delegation of authorities log, meaning you got to help. Shout out to my bro, 49er Coach Vic. Not these 49ers. He's from UNC Charlotte 49ers. Assistant coach for men's basketball, UNC Charlotte. Big ups. Big ups. You guys had a big win over Florida, one of the Florida schools. Remote SIVs have been great lately. Yo, Vic. Congrats on baby Clayton Daniel Sfera. Named after me. Middle name. He's already been featured in 2 podcasts, and he's only 2 days old. That's a pretty good ratio there. So SIV, okay? Protocol training. Delegation of authorities log. Make sure they have IRB approval. Make sure they have all the kits. Make sure they have the IP. Make sure they're storing it properly. Make sure they have the source documents ready to go. Those are the most important things. But you go through your monitoring report. This light keeps turning off. You go through your monitoring report, you have a SIV template. So you should look at that before, if you're going to do your first SIV as a CRA, you have to have a SIV template somewhere. Okay? If not, okay, this is like $33. We have templates in here. All right? We got templates. Let me know if you read this. If you read this, put in the comments that you read it or listened. I actually think the audiobook's better. Yeah, this light is just going out. Okay. Study management assistant. Okay, who else? Study startup. Yep. I'd like to know. Here, let's put this, Jessica Rodriguez. I'd like to know most sites are billing for RMV remote monitoring visit per day per RMV. Um, yes, because what Chris does, Chris negotiates the budgets for our clients. What Chris has been doing for remote monitoring is on the day of a remote IMV, the site bills an invoiceable of $200 to $300 because somebody's got to scan all these things at the site. Gabby, how's it going? Gabby, thank you so much for everything you do. Chris, let the people know how good Chris is in the back, behind the scenes, negotiating the budgets for people. So I'd like to know most sites are billing for RMV. It's pretty much between $200, $300, $400 per day, per IMV day, because somebody has to Latinx. Yep. Are you guys continuing with oncology studies in Arizona? Melanomas are the most common cancers of all. Um, we're probably going to do everything except cancer, at least initially, because, like I said, there's no competition in that whole city of Yuma, Arizona, except for the hospital which does oncology studies, and they're huge. They're a big hospital. But if I find the right oncologist, we will do. I'm not afraid of competition. Bring it on. Bring it on. Not afraid. It's all about finding the right PI. Right now, I have a good PI and it's family practice, and he's supposed to introduce me to more doctors once I make him a business partner. But he's not going to be a business partner yet. Huge shout out to Latino in clinical research. Please also follow Black women in clinical research. I'm the director of nursing in the organization. It's an amazing movement. Absolutely, Dr. Negrin. I let everybody know that we were inspired by Black women in clinical research from Danielle Coe to start Latinos clinical research. I actually asked her permission. Would you be mad if we did this? Because I think it's a good idea. She said, go for it. The more the better. We have to reduce the disparities in the industry from blacks and Latinos. Absolutely. Dan, in a previous live stream, you mentioned that you're not a fan of working for universities. How come? Man. Because you're basically siloed and you're greatly limited in your future opportunities, in my opinion, because they streamline too much. Unless you can find one of those universities that allows you to do many things, which most that I've dealt with don't. So whenever I go to university as a CRA, I ask one person, hey, do you know who's responsible for this? They point me to somebody else. I go to that person. They say, no, that's actually not me. Go to this person. I go to that person. They say, no, well, I don't know who does this. So there's at the private site, it's the coordinator who does all of this. They're not referring you to anybody. So I think your opportunities are limited to some extent by being in that situation. And I've personally seen, again, it's anecdotal evidence, but I've personally seen people, and I've had CRAs tell me this too. I've heard employers will not hire people from universities in the private setting because they're more problems than anything else. I got here late, was on the CRC Academy, didn't even get notified. Dang it, Gabby. You got to. How do we get the audiobook? If you're in the CRC Academy, Gabby, I actually have the files to the audiobook for you. You're in the CRC Academy. Just email me and I'll send you the audiobook files. It's not as nice as the Audible. You have to download it, each chapter, but they're all in there. Still have not figured out LinkedIn. Yeah, so if you didn't get notified, you got to hit the bell button to get notified of future live streams. So that's my thing on universities. Now, there's probably good ones too. And look, if you are trying to get your first job, I don't think you can be picky. You go with the university, but don't stay too long, in my opinion. Just my personal opinion. Universities cap out. Exactly. Universities cap out. Templates make life easier. Look, somebody else is saying the same thing. They concur. The university shuffle. Yes. University work is another conversation. Departmentalization is the issue. Exactly. And then you start thinking that all research is done like that way. And it's not. 80%, somebody pull up the stats, but I think it's something like 80% of clinical research is industry sponsored and it's done at private institutions, not universities. So there you go. You're limiting your potential. I'm still reading your book, interning, working, networking, studying, tweaking my resume, applying for jobs, multitasking. That's good. That's good. I'm glad it's tweaking your resume. Um, so yeah, and try to tweak your resume uh, for each job that you apply to. You have the notifications on and you still didn't get it. I don't know what's going on, but send me an email and I'll get you the files to the book. But only because, I mean, Gabby is like in CRC. She's a client of DSCS. She's a great supporter of the show. She's a Patreon member. I mean, come on. Gabby is like such an important part of what we're doing right now. Anyone else have anything else? I'm going to end Facebook early because you guys are not doing anything. I'd feel bad if I just can't read Facebook comments and I'm blaming them for it. But Facebook, I don't know what's going on. I got to look into this Facebook thing. So anyone else have comments? If not, thank you guys so much. I need to go take care of some stuff. How do I get started being an owner? Okay, you got to go to my blog, theclinicaltrialsguru.com, and you need to click on the tab. Let me find it. Let me find it so I can tell you exactly what you need to do. Here's what you need to do. You go to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. The first thing you will do is subscribe to the email list. You don't want to miss out on the webinars, on giveaway. We literally give away things. Okay. Then you go to open a clinic. And then you watch the 2 videos on the top first. It says watch these 2 videos first. Short story is you need a PI. You need a physician first before anything. Okay, but before you get a physician, you got to know what questions they're going to ask. So you got to watch these videos so that you know what they're probably going to ask you and how to answer it. Well, thank you guys. Your blog is very helpful. I appreciate it. Go to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. And stay tuned for the more updates. And stay tuned for the next live stream on a Wednesday. And join DSC as best thing for your business. Thank you so much. You know, we try to get our clients as many studies as possible, and we try to bring value in so many other ways. So thank you guys. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I'll catch y'all later. Bye-bye.